It's week 2 of the NFL, and if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Texans and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle.
The Denver Broncos knew exactly what they wanted when they acquired Russell Wilson. They wanted to bring in a quarterback who was durable, consistent, and a proven winner to take a talented roster back to the postseason. And Russell Wilson, he was all of those things in Seattle. 1 losing record in 10 seasons, missed only 3 games in that time, and made 9 Pro Bowls.
That's complete. It's Greg Dulcich. Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson finding his big receiver Patrick over the middle. 7 yards there and a first down.
Tim Patrick's one of my favorite stories in the NFL. A self-made player at every level. He's beat great odds to become a starter in this league. The Broncos love the reliable production he brings them from the number 2 or 3 spot on the depth chart.
And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. From the 36, Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A couple of veterans. Wilson to Sutton there for the Bronco first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Here's Wilson to throw. Open man, he completes it to Judy. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. From midfield now, here's Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And he remains perfect on this opening drive. Charles now 5 of 5 and another first down to work with.
He's like one of those great shooters in basketball that has his rhythm, has his confidence, and he doesn't think anything is going to miss right now. As far as he's concerned, he's going to be perfect the entire game, and who's to say that it won't happen the way he's throwing it right now.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far in the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Patrick. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. To throw again is Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Patrick. And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he...
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Andrew Beck, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. As the Texans offense runs out, we get a peek at the man under center. Second-year quarterback Davis Mills out of Stanford.
And he certainly had his share of struggles in the opener, threw a couple of ill-timed interceptions in the game. So that was something that was hard to pop all week in practice. Because if he's going to help this team be a winning one, he can't give the football away like he did last week.
1st and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their 25-yard line. A first down throw for Mills. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now the rookie 4th-round pick. This is Dameon Pierce. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's caught left side by Cooks. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Texans football to start quarter 2. On 4th down, out is the punter Cameron Johnston to boot it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken around the 12. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Just 2 series in here, Charles, but everything's gone to script so far. They got a touchdown on their first drive. Their defense holds, and now they've got a chance to take a 2-score lead.
And to co-sign with you, exactly the start they scripted up. And really, that kind of start, that can set the tone for the game for them.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. They run here with a second-year man from UNC, Javonte Williams. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. Now Wilson. Throw to the right, caught by Dulcich. And he will have a Broncos first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1. I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arms.
Lovie Smith, he's seen plenty of challenges in his time as a coach, and he's going to throw the red flag on this one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. It's caught on the right side. Williams. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I believe I could see what they were trying to do there, but unfortunately, the back ran out of room. Too close to the sideline. And for defenders, we're often taught, 11 on the field, those sidelines can become the 12th defender. It worked to the defense's advantage on that play.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson swings this out here for Cohen. They juked him. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 18 big yards on that one, and a Denver first. Well, that is a running back who was not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
And as a former defender, I can tell you with certainty, those are the ones that have you losing sleep at night. I would not like to be in that film room on Tuesday going over that one. Just a pretty poor effort defensively, and it leads to a big play.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw taken in by Sutton. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen, and he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. 2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. Now Wilson on 1st down. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Wilson. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
This one fielded at the 5. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain gets them to the 42. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mills. There again is Cooks, complete. And they're going to get this up to midfield. Mills now from the 50. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mills. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And Cooks has it over the middle. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. And this one is no good. He missed it. And they will not cut into that 10-point lead.
Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, this is your halftime report. We start off in Vegas where the Raiders would take the first drive of the game. Josh Jacobs pushes it in for a touchdown to make it 6-0 in the early goings. The extra point would be good to make it 7-0. Derek Carr in the 2nd quarter with a great pass to tight end Darren Waller for a touchdown. Wide open. Darren Waller for the touchdown. And the PAT would be good to make it 14-0. The Raiders would attempt one last field goal right before halftime, and it would be good to send that one into the half, 17-0. From there we go to Dallas, where Dak Prescott in the 1st quarter would throw a touchdown pass to seed Michael Gallup to take the early lead. The defense would get Joe Burrow and force them to punt it to get the ball, and it would take a touchdown lead. Joe Burrow in the 2nd throws an interception to Trevon Diggs. And just like last week, it looks like the Cowboys' defense is getting to Joe Burrow, just like Pittsburgh did last week. And Dak Prescott in the 2nd quarter would throw another touchdown pass, that time to Dalton Schultz, to take a 14-0 lead following the PAT. They would score again within the final minutes of the first half. Dak Prescott throws. Once again, it was Dalton Schultz on the catch to take a 21-0 lead. The Bengals just getting beat again, this time by the Cowboys. 21-0. And Cincinnati would finally get their first points right before halftime, and it would send it to the half 21-3. But this one pretty much done already, as the Cowboys are up at half.
Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Texans in that first half. And they will need to get this passing game in gear, because they did not do much of anything in that first half. and it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First and 10, it's Pierce. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Working out of the gun, Mills. Eluding the pressure right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mills to throw it. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Josie Jewell, and the Broncos are going to take possession of the football.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging, because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach, because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're in the driver's seat right now, and they were winners last week over the Seattle Seahawks, so trying to keep that momentum moving in the positive direction. After the interception, here's Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Forced out to his left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Hightower. And the Broncos will take over here at their own 14-yard line. Wow, so wipe out the INT, roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Finding his big receiver, Patrick, over the middle. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4. Throwing is Wilson. And he's got it. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a 1st down.
Fourth down. Here's Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it.
Holding. Defense.
Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law. And it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious. And that is incomplete. This is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. Steps away to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now a fair catch taken just across midfield, maybe by a yard or two. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos. Right at the 50-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He finds his man. Complete. It's back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson flushed out right. Throw left side complete. That's Cohen. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4. Three quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th. They run. It's Williams. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there. And on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously. But at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Now it's Wilson. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's not going to get the 1st down. He had to get to the 30, but he's a yard or 2 short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So here now is Brandon McManus in a big spot. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. The kick by McManus is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to start one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And able to get this out to the 25. And now out comes Houston. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Throwing, Mills. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance.
Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So that challenge not successful there, and that's going to cost him the first of his timeouts. On 1st and 10, Mills. Again, he finds more. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. A first down throw for Mills. And he almost had his 2nd pick of the game. Probably should have. And he's frustrated as it falls incomplete. Mills to the air again. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Looking deep downfield and unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Mills, 4th down. Got to have it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. They'll start out here with the option left. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Texans here on 3rd down putting an extra defender in the secondary. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And we'll see if the defense wants to stop it as they take the knee. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11. A give to Williams, running right. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. A loss of 1, now a loss of 2, and they're staring at a 3rd and 13.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. So this one will wind up a Denver victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for Denver, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.